Welcome to the Don Pod, the supporters podcast. Here's your hosts, Sam and Nate.
3, 2, 1, yeah!
Welcome back to the Don Pod for our first preview since 2022. Don't fact check that. I'm not 100% sure. I'm Sam. I'm joined by Nathan, who doesn't get an adjective
Fact
to
check.
describe him tonight because it's Thursday. It's not a review. It's just a bit weird.
It's Thursday. We're all a bit tired. There's one day of work to go. There's a game of footy on tonight. Might not make the end of it because it's a bit after 10 o'clock.
I think we can all say we're passionate Melbourne Demons supporters tonight.
Always, whatever team playing Carlton or Collingwood, we're always barracking for that other team.
Yes. We thought we'd jump on, and I'm going to call this a 5-minute preview, or I'm going to call it a 10-minute preview. It depends how long we waffle for. Given that there's 48 seconds already gone, I'm going to say it's probably going to be closer to 10.
It's not going to be like a short, is it?
Not going to be a short. It's going to be a long, but it's not going to be too long.
So I'm still working out those shorts.
This is, yeah. It's engagement for young people like me whose attention span is lacking.
That seems so true.
And people
It's funny.
younger than me, I probably shouldn't lump myself in with the younger crowd anymore, unfortunately. Second attempt at recording, the first time I was muted, so that was fun.
So it was one of the better ones we've done.
It was one of the, yeah. You cracked up laughing at your own joke before we hit record. I want the people
That's a
to
bit
know.
of a dad joke right there for anyone.
It's just one-sided. It's just Nathan talking and me mouthing words. But anyway, we're here now. You can hear me. Essendon versus GWS, Marvel Stadium, 4:35 p.m, Saturday, the 11th of May, 2024, just in case you forgot. Teams have dropped about an hour ago, and honestly, the purpose for me being here right now is because of the team we've named. So
Sam is pissed. Let's be honest.
Human.
He wants to vent, and
Yes.
I just had to come along for the ride.
And Nathan also has no life, so he was available at the drop of a hat. And
so far from the truth.
Here we are. I'll put myself in that category too. It's okay.
Good.
Essendon in, Nick Hind out, Xavier Dersma. GWS in, Nick Haynes, Stephen Coniglio and Connor Stone. Out goes Jacob Ware. Connor Brown's through suspension, and I want to say James Peatling. I've only written Peatling.
Yep. Correct, James.
So as of right at this second, Tom Green plays. However, the noise is that he won't. But time will
Well, the
tell.
noise is that he didn't do a lot of training. That's,
Yes.
I guess, I don't know if that means he won't, but it can be a bit of an indicator.
They're giving him until the last possible moment
Yeah.
to prove his fitness. I did have a little bit of a look back. Nick Haynes and Peatling have been the sub for GWS for the majority of games. One of the two, mostly Peatling. So if he doesn't play, my assumption would be Peatling in as the sub. But we are here to talk about the Essendon Football Club. This year, I have renewed faith. I trust the club. I don't know if that's a suitable description, but
Well, we've talked about a few things that we thought were interesting, like Dersma's and playing midfield and stuff like that, and they've really panned out well. The one they started off doing was the Kelly that they were doing last
but
year.
even that to a when
sorted
that's
it out. Yep.
gone back, then
Yep.
all of a sudden I'm sitting here going, "Oh, okay,
That working? Yep. Okay.
they're making the decisions that I want," which is great. It never happens anywhere, not just football. However, very disappointing injury to Xavier Dersma, quad, and led to believe that's a 4-week injury.
Yep.
Very disappointing. He was just owning that wing roll up and down, up and down, up and down all day long.
Yep.
Very disappointing. For me, and you can pipe in here because I've been talking a lot. For me, the obvious replacement here was Elijah Sardis.
And I don't totally disagree with that because they took him to Perth last week with Wiedemann, which would have been, I guess, you would have been covering a couple of bases, a small and a tall.
A runner and a tall, yep.
Yeah, running a tall. And then, I mean, he's a winger. There's one tick. The other one I might have accepted and gone, yeah, I could understand that was Shield. Like
Yep.
in that he's a bigger body. We're
There's
playing.
form.
Yep, we're playing a GWS team, which I think are big, strong boys. Like they're, if Green does play, he's one of them. Kanig, there's another. They're forwards and back. Hogan and that are all big. They feel like a
Big
strong
dudes.
team.
Yeah.
Like,
Yep.
big body team. And then there's also the fact that Shield's old team, and sometimes players can get up
You
for
build
those
up.
games.
Yeah.
So that would have been it. And he's been playing some VFL footy, so that would have been the other. They're the two I would have thought were alike for like.
It's a great point you make because Shield was building through VFL.
Yep.
Sardis, VFL, 39 touches, and then nothing last week, but travelled with the AFL team to Perth. And as you rightfully point out, man's a winger. So I really can't wrap my head around it. Hind got dropped because he was playing shit, hasn't played a game of VFL, and has come straight back in.
And I'm insane. I assume he'll be the sub and Hobbs will come onto the ground and play the whole game. But I don't like that in that. So, and I know the teams mean nothing. They've got Kelly and Matt Guelphy on the wings. I mean, why do they do that? I just
I know it bugs you.
fucking hate the coaches these days. Like, what the fuck's wrong with just naming the fucking team where they're all going to generally start and play? Like, I understand they'll move.
Do you
spots,
think they need to waste
but fucking
time?
Kelly and Guelphy on the who? What do they think it's going to outsmart the other team? Oh my god, they've got Kelly and Guelphy on the wing. What the hell are we doing, guys? Like,
Maybe.
just fucking name them properly.
Right. Weird thing to get angry about.
It's a pet peeve of mine. It's been going on. I just
Evidently.
name them in the right spot.
Evidently. Yeah, I can forgive the back and the forward line because it's just a 6. They don't really go
Yeah,
anywhere.
that's
But
100%.
I understand where you're coming from. I can't understand the passion. You've
When you get
demonstrated.
to my age, Sam,
You have demonstrated more passion right there than you did in the fourth quarter on Anzac Day.
Hey, that's unfair.
That's accurate, is what that is.
The
actually.
passion in public can be held.
Not at the footy.
There was a lot of nerves in that
Uh-huh.
passion, and you can lose. Anyway, we're not going
Any
into
other excuses in there? This is meant to be a quick preview. So,
off the rails. We could go for an hour, people. Lock yourself in. This will go for an hour.
however long it goes is how I'm going to title the video. So I've got a bit of creative freedom there. Draper misses again with a knee, and it's a test on the AFL website.
Yeah, but it sounds like they're saying it's serious. Like
it's reminiscent of last year where he just kind of disappeared.
I'll find the wording from that I read. I think that was on the Essendon website where they described it as that he was going in for the club was sort of further investigating or something like that. And I'm like, oh god, that's
kind of alarming. I will say I'm okay that we've left out Brian for this game. I understand it. This game with Briggs being a big dude. Menzies could have been available. He was listed as a test and doesn't play.
But he's not the guy you rush back in. You rush the guys. Sardis had 37 possessions
39.
in the VFL. The other one that I wouldn't even mind too, who's also playing wing in the VFL, is that I want to say Roberts or
Archie.
Yeah, Archie Roberts, who also has been playing really good football in the VFL. So
Hind is not the guy, and I don't. He hasn't done anything good this year, I don't think.
No. It's that slip.
And it's now 8 games old. So,
Right. I'm just fascinated by it. Look, I feel like, and look, we obviously could be proven wrong here. I feel like we've already lost the game at the selection table. Like, I feel like we're going in with a team that's like, no, we'll do what we did against West Coast, and it should be fine.
Again, we do play to the level of our opponent. So,
wow. Last time we played this team, they flogged us by
126 points.
1 million points. So, yeah. And they will be a bit... So, there's 2 reasons why I'm really nervous. Callum Ward, one of their real sort of heart and soul
300th game.
300th game, and I would imagine in his last season. So, they're big milestones. The other thing is they got, I wouldn't say touched, but their effort last week against
pretty poor. Yeah,
Sydney. They're the sort of team with that coach.
And they had a pretty pissed off coach. I did see him. He had one fucking job.
Yeah. It will be ringing in their ears. They will come out hard against us.
Sam Taylor's 100th game too, for what it's worth.
Less so Sam Taylor, but a very good football player. But Callum Ward will be the one they'll be up for, I reckon. But yeah, I'm really, really uncomfortable with it. I don't know if I want to even just hopes are very down. The potential of us doing well is expectation, I should say, is low. Low.
Which
Sam.
honestly is how I prefer to
Good.
be.
Yeah, of course. But
It's a very, very small
one day we won't. But yeah.
club mentality, I'll be honest. But I will say Sartis, Shield, and Wiedemann are the emergencies. So I guess there is still a chance, particularly with,
Yep.
I mean, from all reports, Caldwell trained.
Yep, he's fine. Yep.
But if he did pull ups or anything else, then that change might still happen.
If Caldwell's would be out, we would be, I reckon, in a bit of trouble because he's going to be the guy that's going to deal with Green and or Caniglio, like to just be a bit of a hanging off them sort of job.
I think Shield would be the replacement there, just purely for size, unless
well,
Hobbs and then he puts Artis on the wing. Yeah, whichever one.
Yeah, yep.
The other thing was Zach Reed should be back playing VFL this week.
Yes,
which is really good news.
Yep.
Setterfield's an interesting one. He's now 2 to 3 weeks away. I thought he was closer than that. I'm sure that's increased since I last looked. So, bit odd there. Key matchups we better talk about very quickly.
Yep.
Sam Taylor, Peter Wright. And
He's got a hard job ahead of him, Peter Wright, right there.
We touched on this in our review last week that Pete I'd love him to just accept he's not going to get a touch and just drag Taylor out as much as humanly possible.
Yep.
An interesting one will be what we do with Toby Green, obviously, whether that is...
It has to be Kelly. It has to be Kelly or McGrath.
Who?
Well, I guess, see, the thing is
who
that
played
Green
a
goes
negative
up...
role on Sicily in round 1? Was that McGrath?
No, that was Guelphy.
Yeah, it was too. Bit of a different matchup. Don't hate it.
Here's the thing. So last week, Sydney, what did work for them was that they tagged, what's his name, Whitfield. And it kept him to bugger all possessions. And I don't know if it was an influence in winning the game. I don't think that, but they won the game. So it's something that other coaches look at. That's for sure.
For sure. I've got my wires crossed there because Guelphy's a forward and so is Toby Green. But
yeah, he can play a very defensive forward role.
Maybe it's Guelphy on a Whitfield then because you want us, Orange.
Well, that's where I thought you were going, and I was trying to help you. We're working as a team.
It's been a long week. Whitfield, and we talk about their damaging the Orange Tsunami, which I've already got a thumbnail for the review in mind. Should we get thumped?
Good.
Whitfield is a good ball user, runs, so that's going to be a key one. The others will be guys like Jesse Hogan, who kicked 5 or 6 on us when they flogged us by 21 goals.
Yep.
You'd think...
I mean, Ben Mackay at least is going to be a big difference.
Height is better.
Yeah, Ben Mackay is going to be a big difference there.
And the other one is, Aaron Cadman, who is their number 1 draft pick from 2 years ago now. Starting to play regular football, starting to hit the scoreboard. You'd think at least with Laverde, he should win the strength battle, given he is a seasoned footballer. And no disrespect to Cadman, he's still a kid, and that's fine.
Yeah.
I would like
that would be a disappointing loss if Laverde can't handle him. The problem is he does run.
Yes, he can run. What do you do with Durham? Do you do kind of a Bontempelli?
No, I give him free reign. So no.
Do your thing, mate.
Head to head, I'd say head to head with between Parrish and Merritt and Durham, and I imagine Hobbs and Caldwell will play a bit in there as well because of the setup. I don't think you push Stuz out to the wing and then bring Hobbs in.
I'm thinking like on a Josh Kelly in the stoppages or Caniglio or whatever it might be.
I think Caldwell will be more of my matchup for that. Yep. If I'm playing Durham, I'm letting him be free because he's shown that game, the last few games that works for him. But I also don't mind if they push him out to the wing and, play say like a Hobbs a little bit more in the midfield, but that'll really depend on how that works. Because Hobbs' strength is he should be an in and under player.
Well, his strength is his strength, yeah.
Yeah, and that should work well against this team.
So at risk of going back to why we stopped doing previews in the first place,
We have to kick more goals.
We kick more goals, we'll win. Well, not necessarily. We kick more scores.
Actually, kick more points. Yeah, we worked that out.
How we lose is pretty clear. Slingshot footy, orange tsunami. Tom Green gets the ball out, gives it to the run of Kelly, Caniglio, whoever else on the outside, and we just get burnt under the roof. Pretty good conditions for football there, generally.
And my other concern in that is the ruck. I really believe that Karen Briggs, and who's there? Himmelberg goes in there a bit, but Briggs will be a real challenge for Goldstein. Challenge.
It is where a seasoned ruckman like Goldstein might come in handy. It's one of the ones that can go either way, for sure.
Yeah, yep.
Depending on how they're going to match up. But what I would worry about, and I'm sure it won't happen, but if it was Briggs against Wright, I mean, normally they sync up. So normally when Goldstein goes off, Briggs will go off. But
well, actually, that Cadman you mentioned earlier, he does a bit of their ruck work too. So if that was Cadman but against Wright, then I'd be very happy in that world.
But then we're okay. Yeah, that's right. So the flip side, as it always is how do we win? I'm going to not go out on a limb. It's not a crazy statement, but score some stoppages, score some centre bounce, particularly. That's going to be our chance, because if they get the ball back in their defensive half, they're going to go.
Yeah, I don't know, because look, statistically, I think they're definitely a very good stoppage team, but it's a very good defensive team. Sydney probably scored a few points against them, but most of the other weeks I would imagine a lot of points being scored against them. So I don't know. I just don't love the selection. I would have liked to see something that injects a little bit of something different, like a Sardis or like a Shield, give a bit of spice to the game. I don't.
Sorry, they're third worst in the comp for total clearances.
There you go.
And we are third overall.
Well,
so
okay, that's where the game's won then. I find that hard to believe just clearance guys, but yeah.
It's not, that's total clearances.
Yeah.
So for reference.
So not just stoppage clearances.
Centre clearances, we're second. They're ninth. I really wish the AFL stats site just had a number next to the team so you could quickly tell where they're ranked. But anyway.
Yep. The AFL website, I would love to have a talk to it.
We are sixth in stoppage clearances, and they are 15th. So centre clearance is a bit closer together.
Yep.
But we are at the top end.
So we'll win it then. All right. Game's over.
Well, this is the thing,
right, everyone. Well, that's the end of the podcast. Thanks. We'll catch you all next week.
Settle down. Fucking hell.
This is the thing, though. I struggle to talk about how we're going to win it, because...
the point I've tried to make 763 times, Nathan, is that scores from stoppages, centre bounce in particular, has been a really, really, really super duper califragilistic strong suit for us, right? So if we're going to get on top of them, this is what I'm trying to say.
Yep.
Their strength is going to be going back the other way, not from clearance, but from getting the ball back in their defence.
Which is what we're horrible at. They'll get the ball off us in the 50. Yep.
And one of our strengths is scoring from centre clearance.
Yep.
So that's what we need to do.
So you're saying it comes down to who scores more goals points from centre clearances, us, or rebound 50s, them?
Well, yeah, it's going to be that turnover.
That's the battle. The battle. They'll get the ball in their defensive 50.
And
how many times they score goals, or more points,
or how much we
versus
can
us,
score from
how often
clearance.
we score goals or points from centre bounces or stoppage clearances.
I
That's
would
what it
also
comes down.
say, and
I'm
again,
scared then because we're bad at that.
Well, we're pretty good at scoring from centre clearance. That's my point.
But we're very bad at giving the ball up at our back 50.
But we can't be both. We can't be very good at scoring from centre clearance, but also really bad at, you know what I mean?
No, you're right. Yeah,
so
you're right.
The other obvious one, and I will say it's obvious, is the turnover. So it's going to be then if we can't score from centre clearance and they do get the ball back in their D50 and they go, bye-bye, see you later, Orange Tsunami. How do we then defend that? I'm reasonably comfortable with Mackay-Hogan matchup. I'm reasonably comfortable for once in my life.
But history has shown we haven't been able to defend that so far.
We've been better at it. We can't defend Hogan. Hogan's what scares me.
Yeah. Yeah, well, Brown's probably the one I'm happy's out because
he's a very
he would have been a horrible matchup for us. Like seriously, He would have kicked 5 because that would have been Laverde. And that would just been, oh, God, that's a horrible matchup.
He's a very handy footballer. I really enjoy that man.
So, yeah, look, I get what you're saying, and I don't disagree with it. It's just that I think that history in the last few weeks, we have probably got against teams that, like Collingwood, you could look at them and they're a pretty good team that were good for scoring out of their D50, weren't they?
And they did it
more so than their clearance, yes.
But I would say that their style is more out the back, whereas GWS is more break the lines and run and carry.
Yeah, fair enough.
So it's a little bit much of a muchness.
And then is there any difference at playing at the ground we're on at Marble compared to the MCG? It's quicker ground normally. You know.
Well, I mean, their form this year, I can only think of one game they've played there was against Carlton and they lost.
Yeah, they wouldn't play.
They were decimated by injuries and possibly suspensions at that point. Suspensions, they can get stuff, that's their fault. But injuries, they had a few out. I can't decide, like, given that they want to run and carry and be quick moving the ball and all that, I would say that Marvel probably suits them more.
I'm going to give a stat that will mean we'll win it.
Okay.
They, GWS, haven't beaten a side in the top 8.
Have we?
They turn it around on me, you bastard.
Sorry. Oh, it's a genuine question. I don't know.
And then you go, have we? Well, that's not what I'm saying. Saying they haven't.
No, we haven't, unfortunately. The highest position team we've beaten is 11th in the Bulldogs.
Ruined it for me.
To be fair, the Bulldogs should be in the 8, so can we... Or they were at the time, so they're more interested if they were in the 8 at the time rather than in the 8 right now. So I'm trying to help you get back. It was a great
Yeah, sure, buddy. Yeah, no. So it's going to be a draw.
No, I can't handle another close game. I'm done with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry to burst. You deserved it, honestly.
Bubbles burst.
You shat all over my centre clearance work before, so
now, buddy,
you can get snuffed. All that being said, and I beg you don't say Essendon by 12. I beg you do something a bit original. And don't say by 13 or 10 or
11,
whatever, Dad. Dad joke, I meant. Give me.
So you're asking me for an example?
I would like your honest to God.
I think Essendon win it by 2.
Oh, well, 2. I mean, it's different, right? Okay.
Well, I think we'll win it. I never know how by much. Like, it's like when you do your tips on that Thursday night. You know, have a Thursday night game that you have to pick by points. I just go like by 15 every time because I figure I'm either 15 points away from a close one or 15 points away from a 6-goal victory. So I'm sort of in that middle country.
Okay. Yeah. Pro tip there from you.
Well, it keeps you in the hunt when you're in the tipping because I'm only like few points off that guy.
I'm still very confused as to how you've just told me you've got no idea how we win it and yet you've still tipped us. That was more what I was getting at than the Essendon by 12 thing.
Because I'm an idiot and I believe we win every game.
I knew that. Sorry, that's on me.
Yeah. Thank you. That is on you. That's all on you, buddy.
I knew that. Yeah. Idiot. I will say glory does somewhat await us should we win. So.
Ooh, why?
Well, we will be in the top 4.
Ooh.
So. And
then we've got, like, to be honest, we've got North and then Hawthorn and Richmond or something.
No, we don't play Hawthorn again.
Oh, was it Richmond then?
Richmond's there.
Then Carlton.
Dream
Must
time.
be something like that.
Oh, let me have a squizzle. It takes too long.
The AFL website. You think you just could slide across? Like it's got the teams up the top. The week's games. You think you could hit a button at the side and it scrolls across to the next ones?
Yeah. You need to scroll. Yep, agree.
Yep.
GWS, North Melbourne, Richmond, Gold Coast, Carlton, Eagles again.
Okay, so Richmond and Gold Coast, they're 2 winnable. Is the Gold Coast here or there?
Gold Coast is up there.
Yeah, they play good out there.
What I can envisage happening here, and this is years of being burnt as an Essendon supporter.
We lose the next 6 games.
Every single person listening to this will feel this at their very core. We'll beat GWS.
Oh no! Don't say it. Don't
North Melbourne.
Say you motherfucker.
Because my theory
what we
with
don't want North Melbourne to get absolutely touched like by 150 points this week. Can they lose by like a goal or 2?
My theory with North is that they have to win eventually.
Just don't let it be us.
They're playing Gold Coast up in Darwin this weekend.
Ooh,
And Gold
that's a-
Coast like Darwin. but
yeah, that's not a great
It's
game.
actually their home ground.
North Melbourne play better at sort of Tassie.
Well, Tassie's just the shocking weather, so they've got a better chance with that. But yeah, anyway, we're talking about GWS,
All right.
not North.
Just out of curiosity, how long are we going for?
This is the 25-minute preview.
Fuck me.
It's a YouTube exclusive.
He texted. I just want everyone to know. He texted me and said, "Do you want to do a little 5-minute chat on a pre-game sort of thing?" I went, "Yeah, okay, yeah, I can do that. Yeah.
It was never going to be 5 minutes.
25 fucking minutes later, and we're still rambling on.
Was-
If anyone's here, please make a comment or something like that and say I lasted.
Can I ask you then, who's rambling right now?
Don't you? Okay, I'll go on.
Rambling about rambling. We're in an infinite loop here.
I've left. I'm going home.
So you are honestly saying Essendon by 2 points?
Yes.
Okay.
What are you saying?
Essendon by 7 goals.
You
No.
fucking whack.
I'll say Essendon because I'm a bit positive about this one. I don't know why. By 7.
Goals.
However,
Jesus.
no, points. 7. I didn't say goals or 42. I said 7. However, given we got beaten by them last time by 126,
I'd take it if we got 26-point loss and then we're 100 points closer to them.
we're
That's
a
probably
100-point better team. Yeah,
we're a
that's
100-point better team than last year.
I have to just acknowledge that we're playing a good side and then deal with it as it hums. As it happens as it hums.
As it hums. This is a bit
Can't
like
wait to see that Murray play on the
Oh,
weekend.
Murray.
Yeah.
Murray.
Yep. Good times.
Murray.
On that note, we might wrap it because otherwise it's going to be the 30-minute
it's gold.
preview.
Yep.
I hope Murray gets plenty of possessions and kicks lots of goals for us. I hope Merritt and Martin do too. And it's a big test against a good team. So say it every week. It actually matters now. Go Dons.
Go Mamas.